Hey everybody, it is cold where I'm at, so don't mind the ugly sweater. And if you're feeling the same way, please go get your ugly sweater. All right, I've been getting a lot of questions about introduction paragraphs. A lot of people have their thesis ready and then they move on to the essay, which is great, but don't forget, you still have to build up to that thesis. And remember, this just takes practice. Once you get more comfortable doing this, opening paragraphs will be easier, but it's easy to imagine opening and closing paragraphs in 3 steps. Particular to your opening paragraph, you're going to have an interesting opener. You're going to briefly touch on the topic, and then you're going to give your thesis statement, which outlines the direction of your essay. So I gave you a few examples here in this graphic organizer if you haven't seen it yet. An interesting opener is going to give a brief commentary on maybe the situation or an issue. So I just use an example to the right. From the time I was 4 years old, I always had a fascination with space. You want to now briefly introduce the topic. Now you're getting closer to the subject matter at hand. So I said, however little did I know that at this age I'd be interested in joining the Space Force. Now that kind of gives an indicator of what the essay is going to be about. And then the thesis statement. So this is as I said before in other videos, this is your promise that this is what you're going to write about. In addressing my personal experience as a hockey team captain, overcoming personal defeat, and working 3 jobs. Okay, those are my 3 things I'm going to talk about in my essay. This is why I'm qualified for the Space Force. Okay, if you can kind of visualize it like that. And I've included a little example from an essay I wrote, and I've labeled it. So even if you've never read this novel, you should be able to read this essay and have a general understanding of what I'm talking about. So in one right here, you know that in her novel, Written on the Body, Jeanette Winterson explores many contexts of love and how they're defined by gender roles. Okay, that's the basis of her novel. 2, I'm going into greater depth. In the midst of the narrator toiling with gender roles, their limitations, and having a contentious affair with a married woman, blah, blah, blah. So I'm getting closer to what we're going to be talking about. And then in red, this is going to be the basis of my essay. So before I forget, your closing paragraph also has 3 steps, but you're not using a thesis. You're using a closing statement. And it's really just a rephrasal of your opening paragraph and just touching on the topics. So you have your topic sentence there. You reconnect all the things that you discussed in your paper, and then you have your closing statement, make it meaningful. I hope this is helpful, guys. Good luck.